Hello and welcome to Game Matter. This is going to be my first video where I try and talk about games and video games in a positive light. I'm kind of making something that I want to see and kind of fed up with all the news being negative about everything. So I'm going to give it a go, see what happens. This video, we're going to start off talking about the games of 2025 because there is one big game potentially coming out this year, which Rockstar are saying they're coming out this year, but who knows, anything can happen. And I think if you're going to ask the majority of people who play games, whether it's, you know, to the most mainstream end of the spectrum to the niche end of the spectrum, people are going to want to say and play GTA 6. They're going to want to play it. It is one of those games. It is a spectacle game, a highlight game. The GTA franchise, stick with me here, is a bit like the Avengers franchise. Whereas even if you're not really into films, you're not really into games, maybe you play FIFA, maybe you play COD, but you're gonna play GTA. Anyway, I think it's a bit like Avengers because, you know, even your mum has heard of the Avengers. You know, your mum's heard of GTA. I think most gamers are excited for this. But it may not come out, and there are other games that are coming out this year. So I think maybe let's just have a look, have a look forward and see what else is coming out. And these are the other big games. I will do a video in the future about the smaller niche games that I'm looking forward to this year. But as of right now, these are the games that are pretty much a lock or could be a lock, depending on when GTA 6 comes out. Because remember, there are games that won't come out this year that are ready, and that could come out this year but won't, because GTA has pretty much got the third quarter of this year down. Death Stranding 2. This is my most surprising game I'm looking forward to this year. I've only ever played 2 Hideo Kojima games, and the first one was Metal Gear Solid 5. The other was Death Stranding. When I first played MGS5, I had no idea what was going on. It was the first game I'd got on the PS5, and I remember playing it, and I thought it'd be because I haven't played the others. I haven't played the other 4. You know, I'm jumping into this franchise, this game franchise, at the 5th game. No, after playing Death Stranding, I was like, oh, okay, that is just what Hideo Kojima games are like. I played Death Stranding last year. I got it when it came out. Couldn't really get into it. But man, was it like a great experience to go back and play that. Again, didn't really know what was going on. Had to watch a few YouTube videos about it. Still didn't know what's going on. But it's really, really enjoyable. I think you've got to be in the right mindset to play Death Stranding. You can't, you know, at the end of the day, you are just walking and delivering these packages and passengers sometimes. But I do think it is great. You know, there's something to be said about the fact he can get all these, you know, high caliber actors and people in his games, and I think it's just really experimental, and I think the gaming space needs that at that high of a level. You get indie games that do it, but they just don't get the traction necessarily that Hideo Kojima does. And I'm just interested to see where this takes it, because I feel like it could go 2 routes, where it's sticking to what the core gameplay was of the first game, or takes it in a bit of a different direction, which I like. I would like, because I love the Metal Gear Solid 5 gameplay. It looks like it's going to be even more weird than the first game, which, you know, like I said, I think we need more weird games. There's not enough weird, high-profile games, so that would be fun. Now, potentially, none of these games could come out this year. They probably will. However, I was shocked at the fact that Assassin's Creed Shadows got delayed twice. It is Ubisoft. Now, I am a Ubisoft shill. I think they get too much of a bad rap. I will go more into it in another video, but Ubisoft make games that I enjoy. They are not perfect games. And another point, I don't want every game to be a perfect game. That's another video I want to make. I'm a pretty big fan of all their games, and I'm a pretty big Assassin's Creed fan. And I understand why Assassin's Creed got delayed twice after Star Wars Outlaws. Because it seems like the whole company is riding on the fact that this game is got to be a hit, a big hit. And hopefully it is, because this is Assassins in Japan, which we have asked for like a decade plus probably. So hopefully they hit out of the park. Everything I've seen so far, I am on board with. Maybe apart from the switching protagonists, the two protagonists. I've never really been a fan of that in the Assassin's Creed games. I haven't been a fan of it, but I prefer when we just stick to one. It seems like you have the choice to just stick to one in this game. You can play it how you want. And I've seen that they're releasing a canon mode, which is basically all the dialogue choices and all the decisions are just made for you as if it's a normal story mode. Like in previous Assassin's Creed games, which I prefer. You know, I like, obviously, Assassin's Creed is not historically accurate, but I like the history side of things in Assassin's Creed. I don't know where I've gone with that. Anyway, graphics look great. Nawe, I think her name is Nawe, looks great. We just have to wait to see. I'll make a video on it. Assassin's Creed, I think, from what I've seen, if you like the open world games, Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, you'll probably like this. But I know they are controversial, but hopefully they bring it back a bit. They've added more stealth to it, so I'm down with it, you know, I'm down with it. We'll see. Talking of Japanese assassins, Ghost of Yotei. Wow. Now that is interesting. That is very interesting. And as I'm recording this, there is a PlayStation State of Play tonight, which they will probably release news about Ghost of Yotei. Probably release date, I'd imagine. I'm gonna guess like June, July time when Ghost of Tsushima came out in 2020. So what, 5 years on? And I was shocked but not surprised they went for a new protagonist. Because I think Jin's, I'll be honest, Jin didn't really stand out to me. I enjoyed it, but Jin gave me kind of like Altair vibes in Assassin's Creed. He was kind of pretty faceless and boring, really. Although I enjoyed the game. And I enjoyed it so much because it's a really good Assassin's Creed game, and I want more of it. But I am excited they are kind of going the Assassin's Creed anthology type series of game as opposed to just carrying on with Jin. I'm gonna guess Ghost of Yotei comes out in June, July, making it like 5 years pretty much exactly. Since the original, and I think they're gonna knock it out of the park. Sucker Punch. Look, let me say this about Sucker Punch. I know how hard it is to make games. I wish Sucker Punch were a bit more like Insomniac. I'll say it, you know, Insomniac, I don't know how they do it, but they're getting games out at a crazy rate. And even if we had half of the... Look, I think Sucker Punch is sleeping on Infamous. Even if we just get some remasters or some remakes of 1 and 2, you know, I just need some more Infamous in my life. Now, Avowed is coming out next week as I record this, and I think Obsidian Entertainment, they rarely miss when it comes to their games. And I know some people are a bit mixed on the Outer Worlds, but I love Outer Worlds. I think it's great. I played it as soon as it came out years ago, 5-6 years ago. I think it was great. I don't think every game needs to be sprawling, never-ending, carry on playing after you finish the main game. Like, I like the fact they had a vision with it, and I stuck to it. And I didn't try and make it something that it wasn't. So for this Avowed, I've like recently saw an interview with one of the devs, and they know exactly what it is. They're not lying. They're telling it how it is. It's not a Skyrim type game with Avowed. Although it is like their take on the Elder Scrolls, I guess. I mean, they know what they want. It's short, and I know it's in Pillars of Eternity universe, but I have no idea about Pillars of Eternity. I'm not a huge fantasy guy. But hopefully there's going to be like lore already baked in, and it's all, you know, we're going to go into an existing world, so it could be great. But I'm excited for it, you know. I'm going to be getting it on Game Pass, so it's kind of a no-brainer to play. Yeah, it should definitely be on your radar, and I assume at some point this year it'll come to PlayStation. Obviously I know what Xbox are like now, bringing all their games everywhere pretty much. Nothing is off the table. You know, I was just seeing by the Halo leaks that Halo is probably coming to PlayStation, which is crazy. But there we are. Now, talking also of Obsidian, they have another game supposedly coming out this year, which is Outer Worlds 2. You know, I loved the Outer Worlds, like I've just said. For it's one of the games that are funny. There's not many games that are funny. I think it's hard for a game to be funny. And I really found that game funny. Not that it's, you know, obviously Outer Worlds 2 is much more of a, I would say, comparison to Fallout and Starfield now. It's basically the two mixed together, I feel. But yeah, just give me more of the first game, polish it up a bit, and it should just be great. I like the smaller scale visions of these games. You know, when you come home from work, I don't particularly want to be stuck in a game for like, not stuck in a game, but in a game for 3 months. You know, trying, you know, slow chipping away. I like the, you know, maybe 1-2 weeks and then move on to something else. So I like that. Yeah, just give me more of the first game, but polish it up. It'll be great. Weirdly, I think the only Borderlands game I've played all the way through is the pre-sequel. I don't know why, because I played 2 many times. I own 1, I own 2, I own the pre-sequel, I own 3, I own Tales from the Borderland. The only one I don't own is the new Tales from the Borderland. Oh, actually, no, I have played Tales from the Borderland. That is another very funny game. It's great. I'm excited for this. Part of the reason why I've started this channel as well is to hopefully find like-minded people, and I'd love like to play through Borderlands with people. I think that would probably enhance my experience with the Borderlands games. I've never really done that. I think Borderlands is a great franchise, and obviously it has a lot of potential. It seems like there's been a couple of missteps with the film and maybe the new Tales from the Borderlands game and Borderlands 3. I don't know about those last 2, but the games, I know the movie was not good. So hopefully this is a return to form. It does look a lot like 3 from what we've seen. Yeah, but hopefully we have some cool new heroes, some cool new guns. Atomfall. Now this is interesting. I watched the 7-minute video they put out, I think pretty recently. I gotta say, it looks great. I really enjoy, as an Englishman, as a Brit, I enjoy England in video games. You don't see a whole lot of it. I mean, recently, Watch Dogs Legion, that's in London. Actually, in Valhalla, in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you when you first go to England, your settlement is pretty much where I grew up. Obviously, the map is like really like not to scale, but it's where I grew up, and just stuff like that is really quite cool. So Atomfall being set in I think the Lake District, it's so interesting, and I love the British tone of the game. Bit like Thank Goodness You're Here, The humour in that, again, like, if you haven't played Thank Goodness You're Here, play it, because that is a game that makes me... That is probably one of the funniest games I've ever played. So, Atomfall, Mobile Rebellion, they're the people who make the Sniper Elite games. So it's a bit different, because this feels a bit more Fallout-y or Stalker-y. But it's set in the 1960s after a real life event, a real life nuclear disaster event. It seems interesting. It seems funny. It seems mysterious. So yeah, hopefully it's strong. I think if it has a strong storyline and a potentially strong character, it would be fun. But it does remind me a little bit of Atomic Heart, which I enjoyed, but at the same time I didn't really click with it, and I'm not sure why, which is frustrating. I might need to go back and look at that, but yeah, I'm not sure why. So hopefully I'd give this a try. It's on Game Pass day one. If you've got Game Pass, give it a try, because I think it could be great. It could be really great, and it's different, you know. So fingers crossed for that one. And one people might not be expecting to say is Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. I only really have memories of the first Professor Layton as a kid. I love the tone of it. It's very different, not like a game I played before. Because it's a puzzle game. Literally, the game is a puzzle game. It's all you do, solve puzzles. But there's a cool story to it. Cool mystery story to it. So hopefully this kind of goes back to those original games, because I know it kind of went off track a little bit and had a new protagonist with one of the other games they did. And it should be on Nintendo Switch 2 at launch, I would have thought. So I've recently been playing them on my iPad through emulation, and yeah, they're good, but yeah, some of them are hard. It makes you, Professor Layton makes you realize how thick you really are, how dumb you really are. Fable, another kind of English vibey one. It's made in England. It's interesting, isn't it? Because you have a PlayStation, Xbox, and they have some of these great IPs, and they just lay them dormant for so long. I get they're trying to be really ambitious with this game, and I think it may have been for a bit of trouble at one point. But I'm just glad that, you know, Playground Games are taking the lead on this one. Although they are known for Forza, hopefully they can capture the humour and the funny tone of Fable, because that's what kind of made it special and stand out to other RPGs. Hopefully it just doesn't feel like another generic open world RPG with a name slapped on, or Fable slapped on. But that to me, that game, unless Fable comes out summertime, it's not coming out this year, unfortunately. I don't think and with GTA, it can't compete with GTA, unfortunately, which sucks. But I think it's gonna be really fun. Don't get the hate. Yotei is kind of in it, well, he's in the trailer. So hopefully we have some other, like, I would love if we just kind of had like some UK actors in it, like Nick Frost, Yotei, Simon Pegg, like that kind of vibe. Maybe some like Taskmaster, like people like Greg Davies, people like that, because that could really make it stand out and make it really funny, actually. South of Midnight. Now this one had me intrigued from the first time I saw it, because I liked the animation style, the stop motion animation style. It's made by the people who make We Happy Few, which I've never played, but they're talking about it's got quite rich lore, deep South folklore, and that's kind of how what the game is centered around. I don't know anything about that, but I'm excited to learn about it. Impressions have just come out of this game, and it has been mixed, but it's one of those things where I don't particularly understand why they're mixed. It's a bit like Kena Bridge of Spirits, I've heard someone say, which I couldn't again, with that game, I couldn't click with that, even though I was really excited for it. So hopefully we'll see. But the art style and the different setting is what has made this stand out for me. Just hopefully it's polished and finally GTA 6, Grand Theft Auto 6. Wow, this game is going to be huge. It is going to be one of those games that is like the top 10 selling games every year, every week for the next decade when this comes out. People have waited almost 15 years for this game. People who were playing it will not have even been born when I took the day off school, pretended to be sick, and played GTA 5 on release day. I'm really intrigued. It's going to be this is the thing with GTA 6. It's going to be amazing. It just will be, but people are still going to be disappointed because there's too many critics. There's too many people who are going to be playing with it, and people are going to have problems with it. A lot of which I can already tell now will be, what am I trying to say? It won't be valid. There won't be valid criticisms, but we won't go into that. We're not going to go into that. What I'm most intrigued about is what they do, because there will be what they do with the online mode, because I feel like they could have done a lot more with GTA 5 online, but they didn't need to, and it's a cash cow. So I'm interested to see how in the modern gaming landscape how they monetize it and what they do, because I could see them, I don't know, it's scaring people, but I can see them doing a battle pass type thing with it. I'm interested how they implement it, but yeah, it's gonna look amazing. You're gonna need the best, console and PC to truly run it, but it's gonna be fantastic. I'm very excited. That is it for today. New video dropping every single Sunday. Yeah, I just kind of want to start this. I know the first video is never going to be the best, but I just want to start it, and then once I can, I've started it, I can then keep going slowly. Stay tuned for more. Any topics you'd like me to talk about, let me know. I've got a few coming up, so that's fine. All right. See you later from Game Matter. Peace.